Most men don't realize that they're training their body for failure every single time they masturbate. That's not an exaggeration, and it's not something that starts at 60 or 50 or even 40. It's something that begins the first time a man does it thoughtlessly and continues silently for decades. Did you know that premature ejaculation and erectile dysfunction are often not due to age, but to habits? Habits like rushing through it, or needing a screen to feel anything, or gripping so tightly that no human touch could ever compare. These aren't minor quirks, they're patterns, and patterns become programming. I'm Dr. Mark. I've spent over 30 years helping men over 60 rebuild not just their erections, but their sense of masculinity, their calm, and their confidence. And what I've found is this: for many of these men, it wasn't about taking another pill. It was about unlearning the damage they'd been doing to themselves quietly behind closed doors. Let me ask you a question. When was the last time you thought about how you masturbate? Not just that you do it, but how you do it. The pace, the trigger, the pressure, the mindset. Because just like lifting weights with bad form wrecks your joints, stimulating your body with bad technique rewires your arousal in the worst ways. It teaches you to finish too soon, to go soft when you want to be hard. Or worse, it teaches your brain that nothing real is ever going to feel good again. But here's the good news: it's reversible. This video is going to walk you through the 3 most damaging masturbation mistakes older men make, and more importantly, how to fix them. No shame, no judgment, just facts, science, and real solutions. If this message hits home already, type 1 in the comments so I know I'm talking to the right group. If you're not quite sure yet, type 2. Either way, subscribe for more real talk on men's health, because we're not done yet. He didn't realize it at first. Every night after a long day of managing the quiet routines of retirement, Roger, a 68-year-old former insurance agent, would retreat to his room, close the door, and treat himself to a quick release. It became mechanical, predictable, in and out, over in 2 minutes. No romance, no thought, just get it done. But months later, when he finally decided to get intimate with his partner again, his body betrayed him. He finished too fast. Then the next time it got worse. He lost his erection entirely. And just like that, panic settled in. I see this pattern almost every week in my office. Men who are confused, embarrassed, and frustrated. But here's what they don't realize: the damage didn't start during sex, it started during their solo sessions. You see, when you consistently masturbate with urgency, like it's a race, you are training your nervous system to respond quickly and intensely, and not in a good way. This behavior creates a deep neurological groove. It's like practicing to lose control. This is called arousal patterning, and it's as real as muscle memory. Just as your hands instinctively reach for the steering wheel, without thinking, your body learns to associate arousal with speed and ejaculation with zero delay. Now apply that to a real-life situation with a partner. Your brain has no reference for slow buildup, for patience, for staying present. It only knows get in, get out. And the result? Premature ejaculation, or worse, performance anxiety that snowballs into full-blown erectile dysfunction. Because here's the kicker: when a man begins to fear he won't last, the fear itself becomes the trigger that shuts his erection down. It's not just about the body, it's the loop between the brain and body. Fast habits create fragile confidence, and fragile confidence destroys performance. The fix isn't complex, but it takes commitment. Start by changing your pace. Treat masturbation like training, not release. Instead of a 100-yard dash, think marathon. Set aside private time, remove the rush, let arousal build naturally. Then, this is key, learn to stop. Ease off just before the point of no return, then resume, then pause again. This technique, often called edging, isn't about tease, it's about control. With time, you retrain your brain and body. You show yourself that you're the one in charge, not your instincts. You build endurance, you build calm. And you build back your confidence in the most intimate parts of your life. Roger tried this. He didn't fix it overnight, but after a month, he noticed he could last longer. He wasn't scared anymore. He was back in the driver's seat. And that's what we're after. Kevin was 64 when he came to see me looking more annoyed than ashamed. "It's not like I'm not attracted to her," he told me. "But nothing's happening, not down there." I asked him how often he was watching porn. He laughed. "Every day, sometimes more." Most men think pornography is harmless, just a tool, a little spice. But in reality, it's the equivalent of feeding your sexual appetite with candy bars and energy drinks. It gives you a quick hit and leaves you crashing later. Pornography is the junk food of the sexual brain. It's hyper-stimulating, easily accessible, and engineered to hit your pleasure centers harder than any real-life experience ever could. It's not built for connection, it's built for escalation. When a man masturbates to porn, every time his brain gets used to this unnatural high, an endless stream of new bodies, unrealistic performances, and camera angles that have nothing to do with intimacy. The dopamine system, the very chemistry behind arousal and motivation, gets hijacked. Over time, it demands more novelty, more intensity just to feel anything at all. This is called desensitization, and it leads directly to a condition that's quietly spreading among men over 60 porn-induced erectile dysfunction, PIED. And the cruel part, you could be with someone you love, someone you find beautiful, but your brain doesn't respond because it's learned to only react to the overload of artificial stimulation. Kevin described it perfectly. It's like I'm trying to eat a home-cooked meal, but my brain only wants fast food. The solution is a detox, but not just from the screen, from the habit of outsourcing arousal. Start small. Go 1 week without any visual stimulation. Use memory instead. Use imagination. Think of moments that moved you. Feel the physical sensations in your body without needing a visual crutch. Yes, it'll be difficult at first. Your brain will protest like a toddler without sugar. But give it time. Neural pathways change. Pleasure recalibrates. If you need a bridge try, erotic audio, or written stories mediums that engage your imagination without the overwhelming dopamine spike of video. This isn't about going backward, it's about regaining balance. Porn doesn't have to be evil to be harmful. And when it becomes the only language your brain speaks, it drowns out the subtle, beautiful cues of real-life intimacy. Kevin went cold turkey for 30 days. It wasn't easy, but by the end of it, he was able to get aroused with his partner again. No screens, no scripts, just skin warmth and connection. And that to me is the definition of real progress. Harold always did it the same way. Same hand, same grip, same position face down on the mattress arm wedged tight underneath him. Eyes closed, muscles clenched. It was his routine for over 30 years. And for a long time it worked. Until it didn't. He started noticing something odd. During sex sensations felt muted. He'd get hard but not stay there. Sometimes he couldn't finish at all. The connection was there, the desire was real, but the physical response lagged behind. It was like his body had forgotten what to do. This is a textbook case of what we call death grip syndrome. When a man masturbates with the exact same intense technique every time, tight grip, consistent pressure, fixed angle, he conditions his penis to respond only to that unique, exaggerated stimulation. The nerve endings get used to one very narrow range of sensation. So when he's with a partner where the experience is softer, warmer, wetter, and more dynamic, his brain registers it as unfamiliar. Even under ideal circumstances, it doesn't feel right. And here's the real kicker. The penis stops responding not because something's wrong, but because everything's different from what it's been trained to expect. It's like wearing noise-canceling headphones your whole life and then suddenly trying to enjoy a live orchestra. The sound is rich, but your system isn't calibrated for it. This conditioning can cause delayed ejaculation loss of arousal, mid-act, and in some cases full erectile dysfunction. But the fix? It's not about stopping, it's about retraining. You have to break the monotony. If you always use your right hand switch to your left, use a water-based lubricant to reduce friction and sensitivity to pressure. Vary the pace, vary the grip. Experiment with different positions lying on your back, sitting up, even standing. Let the body relearn that pleasure can come from many directions, not just one narrow path. This isn't just about physical change, it's about mental flexibility. When you practice diversity in your solo routine, you become more adaptable in partnered settings. Your brain becomes less rigid, your nerves become more responsive. Harold took the challenge seriously. He made it a game, trying new techniques, noticing how his body responded. Within weeks, things shifted. The sensitivity returned. The connection felt real again. He wasn't just getting off, he was feeling again. Think of it like expanding your vocabulary. The more ways you know how to speak the language of pleasure, the better you'll communicate in bed. Rigid routines might feel safe, but they shrink your range. And sexual health, especially after 60, depends on staying open, responsive, and curious. So if this sounds like you don't panic, just begin, one small change at a time. Here's something we don't talk about enough. Masturbation habits don't just affect your performance. They can disrupt your hormones, drain your energy, and quietly sabotage your sleep. I want to introduce you to Charles, age 71, a retired school principal with a sharp mind and quiet discipline. He came to me complaining of low energy, poor sleep, and a creeping sense that his testosterone was tanking fast. He expected me to check his blood work. Instead, I asked him a simple question. How do you masturbate? He blinked. What does that have to do with anything? But here's what Charles and most men don't realize. The way you stimulate your body can either support your hormonal rhythm or throw it completely off balance. Let me explain. Testosterone production follows a daily cycle. It peaks during deep sleep and early morning hours. This is why most healthy men wake up with an erection. But when masturbation happens at irregular hours, especially late at night under the glow of a screen, it disrupts this rhythm. Why? Because ejaculation, especially when done without care or in a state of stress or shame, spikes cortisol. That's your body's stress hormone, and cortisol is testosterone's natural enemy. Elevated nighttime cortisol doesn't just block testosterone, it also fragments your sleep. And poor sleep is the fastest way to drain your hormones, reduce muscle mass, fog your brain, and dull your desire. Add to that the mental wiring from porn, the overstimulation from intense grips, and the speed-driven urgency of most solo sessions, and what you get is a storm of hormone suppression. Charles admitted something quietly. He had a habit of watching porn on his tablet around midnight in the dark alone. No build-up, just a quick release and sleep. But his sleep wasn't restful, and he woke up groggy, flat, and a little hollow. This is more common than you think. To support your hormonal system, you need to align your habits with your body's natural clock. That means moving masturbation earlier in the day, or at least before 10 p.m., keeping lights low, using no screens, focusing on your body's sensations, not external stimulation. And most of all, do it with calm, not guilt, not rush, but care. You can also add in practices that support recovery post-ejaculation, like magnesium supplementation, gentle stretching, or mindfulness breathing. These small things help signal to your nervous system that it's safe, that it's time to restore. When Charles shifted his routine, cut the porn, moved the timing, and focused on real sensations, his sleep improved within days. And 3 weeks later, his testosterone levels ticked up without any medication, just alignment. This isn't magic, it's biology, and it's available to you right now. There's something powerful that happens when a man reclaims his body, not by force, but by attention. That's what I told Miguel, 66, a retired firefighter who had always prided himself on grit and toughness. I don't want to rely on pills, he said. I just want to feel like myself again. He wasn't broken. He was just wired wrong by years of habits that taught his body to respond in one narrow, dysfunctional way. What Miguel needed wasn't a prescription. He needed a reset. And that's exactly what this part is about: rewiring. Everything we've discussed, rushing over using porn, repetitive technique, late-night stimulation. Each of these creates a neurological loop. Your brain learns to associate pleasure with a very specific script. And when you step outside that script, like during real intimacy, it panics. It can't read the new signals, so it shuts down. But the good news, the brain is plastic. It can be reshaped at any age. The key is intentional retraining, treating your solo sessions not as mindless release, but as guided rewiring exercises. Here's how I walk my patients through it. 1. Set the scene. Turn off all screens. Lower the lights. Use silence or soft music. This signals the body that this is a different experience, not another dopamine rush. 2. Slow the pace. Don't chase the finish line. Start slow. Focus on the buildup. Pause when you feel the wave cresting. Breathe into it, then begin again. This builds stamina not just physically, but neurologically. 3. Use imagination. Recall a real memory. Create a story. Engage the mind. Visual stimuli from porn are easy. Mental engagement is powerful. This re-engages the prefrontal cortex, your center for connection and anticipation. 4. Introduce variety. As we said before, new grip, new rhythm, new position. Think like a musician experimenting with new keys. The goal is to expand sensation, not lock it in. 5. Post-ejaculation ritual. This is critical and overlooked. Don't just roll over or rush to wipe up. Stay with the feeling. Let your breath slow. Feel the blood return to your limbs. This reestablishes safety in your nervous system and teaches your body that pleasure is not followed by shame or avoidance. Over weeks, this practice rebalances. Your dopamine improves circulation and increases your responsiveness during partnered sex. Why? Because you're no longer addicted to one format. You're adaptable. Miguel practiced this daily, not as punishment, but as exploration. And something unexpected happened. His erections got stronger, his mood lifted, and this is key, his confidence returned. He no longer feared intimacy, he welcomed it. Because now he knew what his body needed. And you can too. Sexual health after 60 isn't about recapturing your 20s. It's about mastering your 60s. It's about tuning in instead of tuning out. If you've ever felt numb, if you've ever felt disconnected from your own pleasure, know this. You're not broken, you're just ready for a new rhythm. Let me leave you with this. You're not here by accident. You're here because something inside you whispered, it's time. Time to understand what's really going on down there. Time to stop blaming age. And start listening to your body's quiet signals. Time to take back control, not through force, but through presence. We've covered a lot today. First, I showed you how rushing what I call the 100-yard dash trains your body for failure. You learned how slowing down edging and taking time can build real stamina and control. Second, we tackled the hard truth about porn. That it's not just entertainment, it's neurochemical junk food. You saw how detoxing from it even temporarily can reawaken your brain's natural desire and bring back real intimacy. Third, we uncovered the damage of repetition. The so-called death grip that desensitizes your body and makes real sex feel distant. And how small changes in technique can restore the spark you thought was gone forever. Fourth, we brought light to something often ignored, your hormones. You saw how late-night habits and unintentional stress around masturbation quietly attack your testosterone, wreck your sleep, and speed up aging. But also how gentle shifts in timing and energy can bring it all back. And finally, we rewrote the narrative. You're not stuck. You're not too old. You're not alone. This isn't about shame. This is about power. The kind of quiet power that comes when you take your time, breathe deeper, and become aware of your own rhythms again. So what's next? Here's what I want you to do. Pick one mistake from today, just one, and for the next 7 days, correct it. No pressure, no judgment, just curiosity. Write it down, track how you feel. Notice what changes not just below the belt, but in your sleep, your energy, even your mood. Then come back, watch this again, and take on the next habit. If you found any part of this valuable, please hit that like button. It helps this message reach another man who might be sitting in silence thinking he's broken, and he's not. Maybe it's your friend, your brother, or the version of you from 2 years ago. Subscribe for more real, no-fluff conversations about men's health. And if you're still with me, leave a comment, type 1 if you're taking back control. Type 0 if you're not sure yet. Either way, I read them all and I respond when I can. This is Dr. Mark. Thanks for trusting me with something this personal. Now go take care of yourself. You deserve it.